Good afternoon. My name is Valeria, like he said, Nkhungwa. I work for Cluster Agricultural Development Services. I'm the nutritionist, and my colleague is Lillian. She's right at the back. So I'm going to take you through the production of Amaranth, the Zimbabwean story, how we have been promoting Amaranth in Zimbabwe, and where we are. Just a background of what I'll discuss today. The background of the production, CADS thematic areas, implementation approaches that we have used, results and reach, then the lessons learned. So basically, CADS thematic areas include sustainable agricultural development, technology, we have nutrition and value addition, seed production, multiplication, small livestock production. We also implement input support scheme programs. We have business development and marketing. Then we also mainstream gender, HIV and AIDS in all our programs. And a cross-cutting approach that we use in all our thematic areas is the demonstration platform for agricultural research technology. I'm going to dwell more on this, on the approaches. And just a brief background on how we started on Amaranth production as CADS. So we partnered with two partners, Bio-Innovation Zimbabwe, in short, I'll be calling them BIS, and then Hilsweg Austria International, HWA. So in 2013, we started an Amaranth project. So we started in 2 districts in Zimbabwe, Mashonaland East Province, that's Mutoko and Mudzi. Hello? Okay, so the 2 districts that we started in are in natural region 4, which is a dry region, rainfall of about 400-500 millimeters per year. And we established 30 demonstration sites, working with 130 farmers. That's when we started. And for us, why we wanted to start on Amaranth production, we had to have objectives and maybe reasons why to promote Amaranth. And one of the reasons was the production. I think all the other presenters who have presented highlighted on its drought tolerance and its tolerance to high temperatures, and it can fare well in low soil fertility areas, and as well it's easy to grow. Then we also looked at the nutrition of the Amaranth. We saw it as a cheap source of plant-based protein. Meat is quite expensive across Africa, chicken, beef. Not so many families can afford to buy animal source protein. So Amaranth for us, we saw it as an alternative for families to produce. Then it's gluten-free component. Then we also looked at the high malnutrition rates in Zimbabwe. We have about 33% children under 5 in Zimbabwe are stunted. So we also looked at that as an alternative or as a solution to counter malnutrition in Zimbabwe. Then we also looked at the commercial aspect of Amaranth. We need alternative crops in the crops production, new species, something that farmers can also get income from. So we thought Amaranth might be a good initiative. Then its potential for export markets and improved revenue for our smallholder farmers. Then for the implementation approaches that we used for Amaranth production, one of the approaches is the demonstration platform for agricultural research and technology, multi-stakeholder approach, capacity building approach, demonstration site approach. I think I'll speak more on them like this. So for the demonstration platform for agricultural research and technology, in short, we call it the DPAT approach. It's a CADS initiative. Basically, it's a multi-sectorial initiative where we are taking the different partners that we work with, which include the universities, the research institution, we have the smallholder farmer, we have the private sector partner, then we also have the NGO or the civil society who are working with the farmer. All of these people come together to collaborate, and the main focus is the smallholder farmer. They are our target group. So instead of having the NGO just implement the program alone, we are saying everyone come to one table. How best can your approach and the NGO's approach and the private sector approach all combine together, can help the farmer achieve a better yield and are able to be engaged in a better market. So it's basically a round table approach, bringing everyone to one table, and at the end of the day, attaining good farmer yield and farmer increased income. So the aim of the DPET approach is to equip farmers with appropriate skills. Like I said, we are bringing different stakeholders to one table, so they all, with their different skills, are able to equip the farmer, so that at the end of the day, the farmer is capacitated and is able to stand alone and are able to implement sustainable projects that can go on for a long time. So the DPAT, it's similar to the multi-stakeholder approach, but specifically for the amaranth production in Zimbabwe, we engaged the different ministries that we thought were relevant to the production of amaranth. That included the Ministries of Agriculture, Ministry of Health and Child Care, Ministry of Environment, Water and Climate. Then we also engaged Ministry of Women Affairs. I think most presenters here have also they've also highlighted the importance of gender inclusion within the different programs. So we also engaged the Ministry of Gender, Community Development. And since amaranth traditionally, I think across Africa, it was mostly consumed as a vegetable, only the leaves. So introducing a grain amaranth, you'd need to conduct focus group discussions with the group so that they understand what is it that you want to bring and how are they going to take part in the initiative. So we conducted focus group discussions with the communities, raising awareness of what grain amaranth is and how beneficial is it to them. Then we also engaged research institutions as well as universities so that they could further explore and research more on the amaranth. Then we developed work plans and roles and responsibilities for the different stakeholders that we had engaged. So this is an example of the stakeholders that we're working with. We have the Ministry of Agriculture, in short, we call them Agritechs, Agricultural Extension Services. So they train mostly on good agricultural practices. Then Ministry of Health, they were training mostly on the nutrition. Bio-Innovation Zimbabwe, we engaged them for the amaranth marketing. Then HWA, technical backstopping on amaranth production. Then we engaged a private sector company, AfriDeli, on amaranth product development and marketing. Then we also worked with Summit, who were outscaling the technologies and the lessons learned from the work we were doing. So we also had capacity building approaches where we were identifying lead farmers and lead facilitators. So each lead farmer would undergo a training of trainers on production, post-harvest handling, value addition and nutrition, as well as gender, HIV and AIDS mainstreaming. So that photo is an example of one of the demonstration plots that we have in Zimbabwe, that's Mutoko. So demonstration plots were used as learning centers and also for showcasing best practices since grain amaranth was a new crop. Then in each ward we established 6 demonstration sites so that farmers would not have to walk very long distances to come and see the new crop. So for the lead farmers that we chose under the capacity building, one lead farmer would mentor 10 follower farmers. That would be the farmers that are within their reach. then the lead farmers would cascade trainings to their fellow follower farmers. And with the lead farmers, what we did, we gave the seed to the lead farmers. After a year of production with the lead farmers, they would pass on the seed to their follower farmers. So in year 1, for example, if we had 130, we multiply by the 10 lead farmers, it means by year 2, we have about 1.3 people who are now starting to grow amaranth. Then we also conducted field days and farmer field schools for the amaranth demonstration. Also part of promoting amaranth, we had the value addition and nutrition approach. Here it was mainly for the farmer to integrate nutrition within their diets, as it was a new crop, and it was also to improve and promote dietary diversity. I think across Africa we have a very low minimum acceptable dietary diversity score. We used the hands-on practical approach. Using cooking demonstrations, farmers would bring in ingredients that they have, or what we call locally available resources that they use on a daily basis, and would develop recipes using those, so that at the end of the day, we don't bring in a lot of new products, but we are bringing in one new product, and they also get to use it with the things that they have for sustainability. So that's a photo. Those are ladies there. That was in Matebeleland. We did about 13 amaranth recipes with them. That photo was, they are ladies from Promotional and Central. We also did about 10 amaranth recipes with them. Then for product and recipe development, like I mentioned before, we were working with research institutions and universities. So mainly the partnership was to develop commercial products using grain amaranth and establish quality standards for the products. So we engaged in product testing, quality control. That photo, those were second year students. We had engaged for amaranth product development. They were doing a sensory evaluation for amaranth sorghum instant porridge that we had developed with them. That was the Chino University of Technology. And that photo is what we call the hospital food service food supervisors, because we're also trying to put amaranth in hospitals and health institutions. So we also engaged the hospital food service supervisors to be part of the recipe and product development. Then promotional activities. We used food fairs, food festivals, and exhibition as a platform for promoting grain amaranth, engaging different stakeholders, including government. That's a photo of Lillian and the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Small to Medium Enterprises. These are the people that we work with every day. So we were working with our stakeholders to raise awareness of the new products, the amaranth products. And the photo above here, that's the Good Food Festival we hold annually in September in Zimbabwe. We call it the Zimbabwe Traditional and Organic Food and Seed Festival. So we also used various platforms for promoting amaranth. Then in terms of reach and the number of farmers that we have been working with, so this number, the numbers that I'm showing now, these lead farmers, we did not include the number of the follower farmers that they are working with. These are just the lead farmers that we have direct contact with. So in the first year, 2013, we're working with 130 farmers. That was just in Muzi and Mutoko. 2014, we increased just by 9 farmers to 139. Year 15, we didn't improve much. We had 141 because we're still, from 2013 to 2015, we were just still working in 2 districts, Mutoko and Muzi. But in 2016, we increased to 7 districts. That's why you see the 940 we had increased the number of districts that we were working with. Then for 2017, we increased to 1,490, just because now we have 13 districts that we have expanded to in terms of amaranth production. So that's just an example of the production of amaranth from 2013, first production year, 2014 second, then the third production year, that was 2016, and sorry, that's 2015 and 2016 there. So currently, oh sorry, it's kgs, those are kgs, apologies for that. It's not much, as you can see, they were not really producing much, but this is under organic production. We are not using fertilizers. So that's just the production levels using the graph. The increase is also affiliated to the number of lead farmers that we are working with. That has increased, so the production amount or the yield is also increased. For the lessons learned, I think the PASOM scheme was very important to cascade amaranth production to other wards and other areas, where we having one person distribute the seed to 10 other people. Then we managed to link amaranth production to nutrition, so that it's mostly consumed for its nutritional benefit more than for income generation. I think that has helped us in increasing amaranth production. Then we are trying to commercialize amaranth so that production is also increased. Then there is need for certified amaranth seed. I think a lot of us are struggling. We have used recycled seed, I think since 2018. It's just recycled seed that we received, that we are still using. And you can see that the yield goes down per farmer because it's not certified seed. And another important aspect that we learned is leveraging on existing relationships with partners and other stakeholders is important for scaling out production and enriching new people. Then that's a story of one of the farmers that we're working with. She's a lead farmer. Her name is Agnes. She's a widow living with 6 children. First year, she managed to harvest about 200 kgs. She sold half of that yield, 100 kgs, so that she could have income in her house, and she consumed the other 100 kgs with her grandchildren. So that's a photo of Agnes and one of our field managers when the amaranth crop was just young. And then that's Agnes after she had just harvested her amaranth. Thank you.
Okay, questions? We're right up front.
Yes, I have one question about the story of Agnes. You said she harvested 200 kilos.
Yes.
It was from, how big is her piece of land?
About 0.2 hectares.
And how much, did you have records of how much she spent? Did she make any profit?
She only harvested 200 kgs. We did record. She sold 100 kgs for $1 per kilo. So she got $100. And the other 100 kgs she consumed with her family.
Initially, how much she spent on the...
Well, the seed we had given them for free because it was still a demonstration plot. Yes. She didn't spend much, and she used compost. She didn't put fertilizer.
It is labor.
Yes, I think the labor cost is what we just had to calculate. Unfortunately, we did not calculate the labor cost.
Okay. Now, with your experience in Zimbabwe, Have you produced other products using Amaranth? Have you fortified other products, or you just use Amaranth on the you say porridge?
Yes, I'll also ask my colleague Lillian to help me on this one. I think we have developed various products. We have blended Amaranth with other small grains to make what we are calling nutritious porridges that the farmers are also making for their households. But we have also promoted Amaranth to be incorporated in other diets or in other recipes where you are just alternating Amaranth for another crop. Instead of using sorghum, we would ask the farmers to use Amaranth instead.
Case for, you said you've used it in hospitals. What is the success story? Have the patients turned around faster after using Amaranth?
For the hospitals, it was not per se the patients getting. We were raising awareness to the hospital food service supervisors so that the hospital food service supervisors are able to adopt Amaranth for the hospitals, but they have not yet given to the patients. We are just promoting to the CADS who are working with the patients so that when they are able to appreciate the benefit of Amaranth, they would also cascade to the patients. So it's just now training of the cadres.
I have the microphone, I don't know. Yeah?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
For a farmer, the bottom line of farming a product is the benefit or the business which you can do with it. Now, from your figures here, a hectare would harvest a ton. A hectare of maize would harvest 5 tons. So the price for the amaranthus should be 5 times as much as maize. Mm-hmm. Just a rough idea of that. It is very important. I mean, of course, I know now that the amaranthus is very healthy and so on, and that should be reflected in the price. But it's very important that the whole economical calculation at the end makes sense. Yeah? Yes. So how are you? I mean, for instance, if 50% of the grain is lost from harvesting, then we still have leeway of 50% if we can avoid this. So that it's complex and complicated, and the bottom line is the economics. Otherwise, it's just playground.
Okay, let me ask my colleague Lillian to help me on this one.
Can you come in front? Because I think there are 2 questions now you need to respond. She can come.
Thank you for your question. I will try and answer that one with regards to the work we've done on production. So production for amaranth in Zimbabwe for some of the demonstration sites. For some of the demonstration sites that we worked with the farmers, the production level was at 2 tons per hectare. So like Valeria was indicating earlier on, that in most of the very, very dry areas, maize is difficult to get a ton per hectare. Most of it, the farmers will get about 700 kgs to 800 kgs per hectare. So with amaranth, 2 tons per hectare, I think there's potential with regards to productivity. And then when it comes to the actual marketing, we started with focusing on household consumption. Why? Because the crop is new in Zimbabwe, and we didn't want to excite farmers too much, and then they don't get the market and they stop producing. So the marketing was mainly local marketing, where they would sell to the other farmers, consume some of the amaranth, and then sell the rest to some of the farmers within their local communities. And also spreading on to the new districts. We started with 2 districts, now 13. So the marketing is also spreading to other districts rather than concentrating more on outside markets that are not yet developed.
Okay, here.
Thank you so much, Valeria. Could you please flag again the table where there were figures? You can flag. I just want to know why is it that, like that district, Makoni, in the first year we don't see any production, but yet it shoots up in the fourth year of production. Is it because, what are the scientific explanation for that? Is it because it took a long time to grow, or what? Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for that question. There's a table that I just omitted to put there, indicating the number of farmers per district. So for Makoni, we had 100 farmers. So it's not just a shoot up from zero. Like I mentioned, for the first 3 years, production 1, 2, and 3, we were only working in 2 districts. So for the 4th year, we then spread over to new districts, making them 13. So the numbers that you are seeing on the 4th year, it's versus the number of farmers that are there. Starting from where it's Murewa to Bikita, we had 100 demonstration sites per district. So the numbers coincide with 100 farmers per district.
Maybe if I can add on that one. For Mutoko and Muti, we were working there for 4 years. And then for the other districts, we were riding on programs that are already existing. So when new projects started in those areas, that's when we introduced Amaranth on an existing program. So it was more of the farmers that we were working with at that time, and then multiplied by the yield that they were getting per farmer. So in some areas, it's new farmers riding on a new program in that area. And then in Mutoko and Muti, that's where we started, and we have been there for a longer time as compared to the other districts.
My question is similar to his question, that's why I will not repeat it again. What he asked us. But the thing I want to add is, because in the year 4 you have higher production, is it because you have different, more districts, or the production, the yield increase? Why? The production, is it because of the production rate, or only because of the more districts you have?
Thank you, Eric. I'll speak and I'll give Lillian to also add on. One of the reasons is because we have also increased the number of districts, hence the number of farmers that are producing.
Is it because of the production rate, or only because of the more districts you have? Because what I mean?
It's because of the number of districts that we now have.
It's not the case of the production rate, which means you have the same yield whether from the previous year. There is no change with the yield. It's only because of the number of more districts.
Yes, it's basically because of the number of districts. Like I mentioned, we have not been using certified seed. This is seed that we have used for more than 4 years. So the production rate has not increased because it's not certified seed.
Yeah, at the demonstration sites, yes, we are working with the farmers to increase their yields. Like I've said, maximum they can go up to 2 tons per hectare. So we are working on that, but like what Valeria has indicated, the issue of the seeds, because the seeds that we started with, we got from Kenya, it was 5 kgs. So we would want to work with partners in terms of how we can improve the seeds for Amaranth. And then incorporating the normal good agricultural practices that we normally promote. And at most of the demonstration sites, we promote conservation agriculture as well. So I think we'll continue with some of those practices that we were promoting, but the major issue is on seed.
You need to sit together during lunchtime. Okay. There is another one here before I go back to the...
Thank you for your presentation. What is the goal? Is the goal to diffuse Amaranth? Is the goal to increase yield? Is it to transform? What is the goal? What is it that you're aiming to do? Thank you.
Our aim is to increase production. Why would want to increase production? We have done a lot of activities with regards to awareness, nutrition awareness with regards to Amaranth, and also bringing in Amaranth as an alternative crop. So yes, we would want to increase production so that when we increase production, then we can work on marketing strategies for Amaranth. We have already started with regards to product development. We have developed a lot of products with the University of Zimbabwe and also with Chino University, where we have done over 20 products. But I think we will be able to market Amaranth effectively if we then increase production, because if we then have a buyer would want to buy from the farmers, they would want to buy reasonable quantities. We then started with consumption at household level because we wanted to boost production at household level, and then from there focus on the bigger markets. So I would say yes, would want to focus on increased production and then move on to increasing incomes for the communities we are working with by opening up new markets for the farmers apart from their local markets.